What's good, YouTube? Swiftly here, back with another NBA 2K26 video. Today's video got another episode of Rare Builds for you guys, as you can see on your screen. Today's episode, we are creating a gritty, high-flying slasher. So that being said, let's jump straight into the build. Now, I made this build at the PG position. Obviously, you can make this build at whatever position you want. I just went PG. I was playing around with the taller builds, trying to find my second build, because I got my first build done. Got a 6'4" shooting guard. I made the mistake of going shooting guard. Should have went PG, but it is what it is. I'm still cutting up in a wreck. Doesn't really matter to me. But I kind of want, for my second build, I want a taller guard. So I've been playing around in the builder, trying to come up with some really rare builds at 6'6", 6'7", even at 6'8" for the shooting guard. So I've just been playing around with the taller builds a little bit, just to see what I can finesse and what can I, come up with. And I came up with the gritty high flying slasher. So I went 6'7", I went 209 on the weight, and I left the wingspan default, but you can go up or down on a wingspan. It is totally up to you. If you feel like you want to increase the shooting, increase your potential up to a 92 3-ball or something like that, or you want to make some changes on the build, you can do that. But me personally, I left the wingspan default just because this is going to have a little bit of defense, it's going to have some rebounding, and I kind of want the wingspan to give me just a little, just a little bit, on that rebounding tip and defensive tip, as far as a little bit of a boost or whatever. So I left the wingspan default. And then for our attributes, this is what I went with. I went 70 on the close shot, I went 72 on the driving lay, I went 89 on the driving dunk, standing dunk I went 40, and then for the post I went 49. We just left it at that. Then for the shooting, we went 75 on the midi, which is nice, decent enough, especially if you know your jumper. We went 80 on the 3-ball. Now keep in mind, this build caps out at 87, so if you do want a cap break or something, you can put this up to like 82. If you want to make some tweaks, you can put this up to 82 and then just cap breaker to 87. If you feel like you really need the extra badges and whatnot, you can do that, but it's up to you. Again, like I said, free throw, I went 75 just so I had just enough to make sure I can knock down my free throws and I'm not bumming it at the free throw line. As you guys know, I only play 5, so free throw definitely a necessity for me. If not, you can take it off the build. Pass accuracy, I went 80. Ball handle, I went 86 on the ball handle, so that we can get, ankle assassin, we got unpluckable, we got handles for day silver. Then speed with ball, we're going 75. Now again, you can play around with this. This build can get in the 82 speed with ball, or really just cap it at 80. But I went 75 because that's where, the badge caps at 75 for silver, and then you can just +1 that. So that's why I went 75, if you're wondering. And then for the defense, I went 82 on the interior defense. Now bear with me here. We went 80 on the perimeter. We went 80 on the steal, right? Because we want to be well-rounded. And then we went 75 on the block. Now, this right here is going to be amazing, because when you do get that matchup where your guy is shorter than you, 6'3" guard, 6'4" guard, 6'5" guard. As a 6'4" guard myself, I've seen a ton of 6'4" and 6'5" guards, but I've also seen a ton of 6'6", 6'7", and 6'8". You're going to really make life very difficult for those 6'4" and 6'5" builds. At 6'7", you're going to make life very difficult for them with that 82 interior defense and that 75 block. It's not anything crazy. You're not going to be prime LeBron putting shit on the backboard. I'm not saying that, but you are going to make their life very, very difficult, because you're going to have the wingspan and you're going to have the height, as well as the badges and the attributes to disrupt them from trying to get the little driving dunk off, that so many of them like to have on their build, the 87, the 89, the 90 driving dunk. You're going to be breaking all of that shit up, interrupting, disrupting all of that shit. So that's where the 82 interior comes from. That's where the 75 block comes in at, especially at 6'7" with a 6'10" wingspan. Then for the rebounding, again, like I said, this build is going to have rebounding on it. We're going 70-70. We're going 70 O board, 70 D board. We can sneak in there. We can get some Putbacks, because you're going to have an 89 driving dunk. You're going to have good driving dunk. You're going to have good vertical. You're going to have a decent lay, and you're going to have decent rebounding. You're also going to have height and wingspan at your advantage as well, too. So not only are you going to be able to sneak in there and grab some old boards, you're going to be able to sneak in there, grab some putback layups, putback dunks, all of that good stuff, bro. And then finally for the physicals, right? Physicals, we're looking at an 84 on the speed. We're looking at an 82 agility. We're looking at an 80 on the strength, and then we're going to max out the vert to an 80. And this is what our build is going to look like. Again, a very nice, well-rounded build. Shoot a midi, shoot a 3-ball. You can finish with layups, floaters. You're going to be able to finish through contact because you're going to have physical finisher, which we're definitely putting max plus 1s and max plus 2s on. You got some close shot, you know, to just back people down when you want to back them down. And you got a 6'4", 6'3" on you. Oh, take them down low. 70 close shot, 72 layup, 89 driving dunk. Just do what you got to do. Just lay him, dunk him. Like, you know, take advantage. Post them up. Close shot him to death. Do you also have playmaking? You know, whether you're playing the 1, the 2, or the 3, you're going to be able to pass the ball. You're going to be able to put the ball on the floor. You're going to be able to create for your team. And then obviously the defense, you're going to be able to box your man. I've been boxing shit with a 74 perimeter. Just 74 perimeter. I got a video later coming on showing me boxing up a dude that averaged like 29, almost 30 points in a rec. And in my opinion, he was trash. No offense. He was just bad. He was so hungry, so thirsty to score that he didn't really care about helping his team win. And I was able to box him with just a 74 perimeter at 6'4". I didn't even need interior defense and steal and block and all that stuff. But this is going to help you put people in a straitjacket, absolutely, if you know how to play defense well. Then we have our rebounding. So this build is going to be able to do it all. You're going to be able to score, you're going to be able to play mate, and you're going to be able to play defense and get boards too. So you're basically you could pretty much average a triple-double with this build, bro, if you're playing the right way, you know, I should say. But anyway, we're going to create our build. We're going to see our shades of. You see Gilbert Arenas, 0607, Gilbert Arenas. We see Jalen Suggs, and we see James Harden. And our archetype is gritty, high-flying slasher. Our go-to badges, Hall of Fame aerial wizard, gold off-ball pest, gold pogo stick. See our top attributes are driving dunk, ball handle, and speed. Our strengths are relentless downhill dunker. Handles have flair and control. Flights defensively on the block. What is that? Flights? It should be fights. I don't know why I say flights defensively on the block. That's a type. I thought I was misreading it, but that's just a typo on 2K's part. And then our only weakness is mid-range game is basically non-existent, which we know that ain't the case with a 75 midi. If dudes are shooting 60% with a 75 or a 73 ball, then I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to hit our 75 midis and, you know, fades with the 75 midi. But we'll let the game say that that's our weakness. Sure. That's our weakness, man. We won't even argue with them, right? Then we create our build, and then I just want to take you guys inside the build just so you can see the full potential of this build, because now you'll get to see what cap breakers this specific build can get. So we're going to go to our thing. We're going to see our build or whatever, and then honestly, we're going to look at these cap breakers. Now, obviously, +5 will get you an 80 drive and layup on this build, which is nice. I believe that would get you silver physical finisher, if I'm not mistaken. +4 will get you a 93 drive and dunk up there to get posterizer, gold posterizer, if I'm not mistaken as well too. If you put, I think you need to put your vertical up too, if I'm not mistaken. But 93 for the drive and dunk for posterizer. +5 will get you an 83 post control, which goes absolutely crazy as far as for post fade phenom and all of those other post up badges that you'll gain access to, because you'll have high post control for like post up poet. You will have hook specialist because of close shot. You will also have post powerhouse because of your 80 strength as well too. So you're looking at an additional like 3 or 4 badges that you're putting on your build if you go with the post control, just adding another layer of scoring on your build. Then for the shooting, you add +5. You can go up to an 84 on the midi, which is also going to help you with getting, like, I think Hall of Fame I said post control, Hall of Fame, post fade phenom, if I'm not mistaken. And then if you plus that, then you're looking at legend post fade phenom if you want to go that route. +3 will get you an 83 3 ball for bronze limitless range. +4 on the ball handle would get you a 90 ball handle, which also unlocks handles for days gold, I want to say, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it's silver. Yeah, I think gold handles for days +4. And then finally, we're looking at the defense, which you can go crazy with the defense. +4 on this will get you a 95 interior defense. 95 interior defense at 6'7". So if you already thought that you were going to be making life hell for people at 6'7" with the 82 interior defense, you throw 4 cap breakers on this, you're looking at 95 interior defense, which is just straight up cancer, right? Then you add +5 to your perimeter, you're looking at an 85 perimeter. Or you can add +5 to your steal for a 90 steal, so you can really just ball hawk some shit. And then you can also add +1 for your block to get 80 block, which is also going to make life difficult for people. And then +3 to your defensive rebound will get you up to an 82 defensive rebound, which, you know, we can live with that because that'll at least get a silver rebound chaser. You decide to +1 or +2 that, you're now looking at gold or even Hall of Fame rebound chaser on a 6'7", which is just insane. Now, as always, you know, do keep in mind that this is just with normal cap breakers. This doesn't include, you know, whatever you choose to do as far as build specialization and the max +1s, and then of course the max +2s we have available to us. So in my opinion, this build has a lot of potential. You can do a whole lot with a build like this, bro. This build is just, the way it's tailored, I tailored this to be really well rounded, and I think that's one of the things I like the most about the build of this year. You can make whatever unique build you want, and then with the cap breakers and the max +1s and max +2s and the build specialization, you can kind of tweak it to where it can actually be viable. So you can have a very unique, cool ass build name that nobody has, and then also still have a very viable build where you're not weak in this department or weak in that department. You can still actually be viable and play online. You don't have to just make these meta builds. So there you have it. This is our gritty, high-flying slasher build for NBA 2K26. If you liked the video, please be sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe for more NBA 2K26 content. And, of course, more rare builds like this. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.